Honorable Liam Jacobs.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. And then there was silence. No, I'm playing. So, Chairperson, look, I think one of the reasons I might not be as vicious now is because it's a new board. Right? And with a new board, you know, it's a new broom, and we know how new brooms do. You buy them at Verimark, and your house is suddenly way cleaner than before. Some even buy the Chinese ones, where you just switch it on and then it goes all across the floor by itself, right? That's the new brooms. But, and you knew the but was coming, but I do recall seeing the same people that were here last year when we met here again. So that implies to me that there are people that are in some form of a capability to answer certain questions about financial statements. Am I correct in saying so? Am I correct in saying so?
Yes, you're correct.
I'm correct. Thank you very much.
The acting CFO would be in the position, and the COO was also part of the previous financial year.
Okay, thank you very much. So my questions are not as much quantitative questions as what I previously asked, because those were largely covered by the fact that in the presentation you did display some form of an understanding of your qualitative statements. However, there seems to be a lack of direct reporting on what you are doing. So, for example, you'll say that your target was 100, and you'll just say you did your target, but you don't tell us what your exact performance was, what your exact output was. It's standard procedure that when you come to the portfolio committee, you give us the specifics, because we want to know the specifics so that we can do the maths behind the specifics, right? So, on that, I want to ask you, the first thing here is, I see that in your financial statements, you paid 773,530 Rand in 2024 and 2,154,547 Rand in 2023 on what is called consulting and professional fees. Can I please get clarity on what that is, what it means, and what you paid it for? I do it interpellation style, so I want the answer.
Okay. No, thanks, Honourable Member. The acting CFO would, if you could just zoom to that specific transaction and give an account of what it is for.
Okay, thank you, Honourable.
I think the mic is a bit far.
Is it far? Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
So that's consulting fees.
Consulting and professional fees, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the reason why there's an increase from the previous year, which is 2022-23, to the year under review, is that there was a boxing awards event which took place in Durban in the 2024 financial year. So there were a lot of consulting work that was appointed, which made an increase to this value,
Okay,
to this amount.
So what I'm gathering is that you spent about 8% of your budget. Your budget is about, or your grants is about 20 to 26 million around there. You spent 8% of that on an award ceremony. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
You spent 8% on an award ceremony. Okay? I just want that on record, because I think that when boxers themselves and their coaches look at an 8% that was spent on an award ceremony versus millions that could have gone towards, and it is millions, if I add it up, 2.1 million plus 770,000 is about 2.8 million. If I add that up, that is 2.8 million that went towards professional and consulting fees. Right? Now, you said it's for an award ceremony. Is that an award ceremony that took place over 2 years? Because
No.
I see 2023 and 2024.
No, it happened in July of 2023. That's why it falls within the 2023-24 financial year.
Okay, then what is the 2.1 million?
2.1 million.
Yes, in 2023.
It's all consulting fees. The
Yes.
majority of it relates to the BSA awards.
The majority of it. What's the rest of it?
What goes in there is also consulting within BSA, if there's any.
So you pay yourself to
consulting
consult
work.
yourself?
Well, we sometimes need professional experience or
Don't you have that professional experience yourself? What for?
I am not sure, sir. It's
You don't
just
know?
it's different consulting jobs which were appointed during that financial year.
So you don't know what those consulting jobs are?
I can't really tell you at this point.
Why can you not tell me at this point?
It's a very detailed list, sir. It includes BSA
No, you can tell
awards
me.
and other consulting
You can
fees.
tell me. The answer won't be there. The answer will
one
probably
of
be
them
in
was
front
a
of you.
study which was conducted, a case study, which I think the consultant was hired by the previous board
Mm-hmm.
to conduct a study, of which
Just tell me what it was about, quick.
I can't give you the details, sir.
But you were about to tell me of a case study.
As a finance person, you know about the cost, you know about the appointment of a service provider, but the details of what the research was about.
Okay, then who
and
must I
how-
ask? Yes,
The CEO can come through. Thanks.
No, thanks, Honourable Member.
just a quick one. I don't want a political answer here. I
I'm
want a
giving
factual
a
answer.
direct response. There was an exaggerated use of these consultancy services, and I'm going to give you examples during the period under review.
Bullet point them for me, please.
Yes. For example, there was a lawyer who was on a retainer with Boxing South Africa
For how much?
for, I think it's about 120,000 the colleagues per month.
Per month?
Yes.
You paid 120,000.
100
You paid that man's salary per month.
120,000 retainer of a lawyer, that's one. Two, there was an...
And you're admitting to this. This is something that happened. 120,000 per month for retain a lawyer.
Yes, because...
My goodness gracious. Yes?
And then secondly, there was frivolous use of legal services. I'm going to give you an example.
I'm going to come to legal fees still.
Okay, so when it comes to those type of consultancy fees, it was things like that, and I think
Things like what?
An example that I've just given you now.
Yeah, what? Give me some more.
And then two, during the boxing awards themselves, there had been various service providers who also came in as consultants. So those issues
Who
are part of the
what did they do?
basket.
What did they do?
So that I don't know, and that is what the forensic investigation must now respond to.
So
I
you
think
don't
that-
respond to it?
Yes, so because we wouldn't have all these answers. But I think what we have also identified is that there's a problem here, and in the scope of forensic investigation, those issues are also now part of that basket.
So you don't know what the problem was. You are saying yourself that you must be investigated and your organization must be investigated for this.
Definitely, yes, that's what you are
100%.
saying.
Okay, thank you for admitting to that. Then I want to ask conferences and seminars. In 2023, you spent 987,344 Rand, and then in 2024, 2.1 million Rand, which is 2,155,192 Rand. What were these conferences and seminars about, and why did they cost this much? And how many people came to these conferences and seminars, especially in 2024? Hello.
I'll answer
I
that.
feel like a teacher in a class.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the conferences and seminars, unfortunately, also relates to the venue for the BSA Awards. So it's basically the
So-
BSA Awards.
You clump them together, conferences and seminars.
Yes, and also the training, when we conduct training to our licensees, when we hire venue, but a bulk of it was coming from the
bulk.
awards.
And what was the rest? And you say the awards, right?
The award
So-
for that in July
So
2023.
the consulting and professional fees and the conferences and seminars is cousins,
yeah.
right? So you are saying that you actually spend, it's going to go up now, you spend about 12% then on an award show. You spend 12% of your budget on awards and
Yeah.
not 12% on developing athletes. I don't know about you, but a handshake is not going to develop me as much as hard yards inside of a ring. That is the truth. So then I want to know, your seminars, you said the bulk of it. What was the rest?
The rest was when we organize training for our licenses, when we hire a venue to conduct.
How much
the
was that
trainings.
venue cost? And where was it?
It was in Durban. Is it ICC?
Durban
The-
ICC.
Yes,
Durban
Durban
ICC? How much it cost?
I can't give you the exact figure because it will be other items which were added in that cost, sir.
Chairperson, it's again a matter of the homework is not being done now. It's being done in the lecture, Chairperson. And that can't be the case. You're supposed to come here knowing exactly what for what is inside of your financial reports, because that is what you come to account on us on. So you are saying again you don't know the exact specifics.
I don't know the amount of the conference for the PSA awards.
Okay, and then in this 2.1 million from 2024, what was it? I'm just as shocked as you that there's 2.1 million for conferences and seminars in 2024.
Honorable Jacobs, just a second.
Yeah, it's mine. Vince Blennis. Thank you, Chair. Through you. I think, Honourable Member, we are cognizant of the challenges. I think as what the Chair has mentioned in her opening remarks is that there were strategic things that we came and we found as the new board. We found all these different challenges. We have identified all of them and we've listed them. I think some of the stuff that you are mentioning, rightfully so, has been equally a concern to us. And just to, not to appease you, but to let you know that these items have been listed by ourselves, and I believe that through the forensic investigation, some of these matters will then be addressed accordingly. At this point in time, if the truth be told, we did not come prepared to deal with the specifics as relates to.
So you did not come prepared to deal with the specifics?
With regards to
yes or no?
Line items.
Yes or no?
The answer is no.
Didn't come prepared to deal with the specifics. I hope that when you come back for the National Film and Video Foundation, Mr. CEO, that you come back with the specifics, that you come back with line items. Because this isn't the only board that you're sitting on. We are well aware of that. So when you come back in a new board, you must come with specifics, please and thank you. I want to get back to my questioning, Chairperson. I then saw 5.5 million
May I
on
just
traveling.
ask with the interpolation, if one speaks, finish, just switch off your mic because I can't hear properly from the side.
Then I saw 5.5 million for traveling, thank you very much, Chairperson, and 3.9 million for traveling. How and why? Where were we going to? Were you going to New Zealand? You're going to Alaska? I'm very interested.
Honourable, it's the travel expenses for, different activities, which also, a lot of it emanates from the PSA Awards, but it was a travel for the board, for staff, through different activities.
So in a year, board and staff, and there's 17 staff members. 17. Board and staff. And how many is in the board? 7. Right? 7. 7 plus 17. In 1 year, 2023, 5.5 million. In the next year, 3.9 million. Just on traveling. So let's go back and add it again. Chairperson, I'm wrapping up here. Let's go back and add it one more time. This will be the second last time we add it up. 5.5 plus 1, 6.5 plus 2.1, 8. 32% now spent on traveling and seminars and conferences. It's unbelievable, yes.
Thank you, Honorable Jacobs. Once again, Chairperson, on the 27th of August, we were here at Parliament, and one of our recommendations was this thorough, independent, forensic investigation. That's the only way, Honorable Jacobs, that will be able to reveal what was transpiring during that particular financial year. We were here and we did recommend it on our report. Hence, we would wish that it can be expedited. Because there's an issue there, Honorable Jacobs, that most of the people that are here, including me, we were not there. Now, and also the departure of our Chief Financial Officer during the month of February, made it more difficult for us, to dig deep in some of this information. Hence, we would really request that, this issue of this forensic, investigation be done so that we can know who are the culprits around this particular issue. That's just my response, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
I'll wrap up now, and then I just want to say, are you telling me that the previous board and its administration covered up so well that you couldn't go back in your accounting? That they hid their books under rocks, that you couldn't go and find the books, that they hid their books in Google Drives that you couldn't find, that they hid their books inside of files online and clouds online that you could not find. Are you telling me that that was the case and you could not then prepare for this meeting line by line on that? Yes or no? Did they hide the books?
No, they didn't.
Then why didn't you look through the books?
It's difficult to know the amounts line by line in the income statements, but I think your comments are noted. We'll look into that.
Are they just noted?
No. They'll be actioned thoroughly. We'll next time we'll come prepared.
I'm
to know
looking
exactly.
forward to the outcome of the forensic investigation, Chairperson. That forensic investigation, I'm going to study it like it's Bible study on Sunday. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be the best time, and I'm sure myself and my colleagues are going to have the most fun with that forensic report, and we are also going to have the biggest after tears after that forensic report. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Na ki bulela spitori, khori tobela. And I start off nice because you know I can get quite brutal. So, Chairperson, the first thing I want to do is as follows. Usually we get very big delegations that come here and then half of the delegation speaks, if even half of the delegation, and then the rest sit and say nothing. So I actually want to ask the following. You get honorariums and you get money from Athletics South Africa. It's in your budget, you cannot deny it. So I want to go one for one. All of those mics are going to go on, and I'm going to start at the back. I'm going to come all the way here. I'm going to stop there, and then I'm going to come to you, President. So I want to know how much you get from Athletics South Africa. This is going to contextualize my further questions, Chairperson. In a year.
Thank you, Honourable Member. I only receive 10,000 rand per year.
Thank you.
My costs for travelling are covered by Athletics South Africa, and also my accommodation
Thank you.
and meals. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson, Honourable members. My name is Unox Kosana Rudrani, Chairperson. I received twice in a year.
Okay.
10,000.
Okay.
Thank you.
And accommodation, Yachai? It's covered, all of that, accommodation and travel.
Yeah, it depends on the event.
Okay, thank
As
you.
I'm saying, I'm a route running chairperson. Other event has been sponsored by other companies. They
Thank you.
pay that, and
Understood.
another one is the ASA.
Understood.
Thank you.
Honourable member, we received two payments of 10,000 rand during the year.
Accommodation also covered, same as your colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. We received 2 times 10,000 rand per annum accommodation and flying from Cape Town to Joburg, or for whatever events is covered. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. We received 10,000 in January, 10,000 in June, and also if you are deployed to a province for a case, they give you 1,000 allowance for that.
Okay.
Accommodation and meals are being.
S&T.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much.
I'm Esther Malema. Good afternoon. We received 10,000 first semester, and 10,000 second semester. And they pay for our transport and accommodation. And when you go out with the team, you get maybe 2,000 going overseas with the team.
Thank you.
I receive a salary. As I say, how much?
Yes, please. We are allowed to interrogate whatever regarding the financial statements of any federation that is registered with SASCOC as per the National Sports and Recreation Act.
Okay. I receive 30 every month, including a bonus, but bonus
Thank you.
is not every year.
Thank you, member. I received the same as other board members, twice 10, and traveling allowance and accommodation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. I receive a salary, and then including bonuses during our birthday month, and that is April 51,000.
Thank you. Same as the board members.
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason I ask that is as follows. I want to contextualize for South Africans that are watching at home what this means, what a meeting of this structure means. Because many times, you know, in the past we've had the financial accounts of many stuff closed. You'd have some people say, let's rather not speak about it because it's money related. But at the minute you step into government, or the minute you step into anything that is related to government, it becomes public interest. And that is the reality of the case here. And the reason I mention this is because, I mean, anywhere you look within government or within a sporting federation, we are allowed to ask such questions. People can Google our salaries, people can Google the president's salaries, people can Google the director's salary. That's the truth, right? But when it comes to your actions, that is where we step in to hold you accountable for your actions. So the reason I asked you all of that is because all of you share collective responsibility for athletics in South Africa. And because you share collective responsibility for South Africa, when Athletics South Africa gets deregistered from CIPC, and I want to clarify this for South Africans what that means. Deregistered from CIPC, meaning that you don't have a legal personality anymore, meaning that you can't open bank accounts anymore, meaning that you can't transact anymore, meaning that you cannot enter into contracts anymore, meaning also that you cannot form structures, meaning also that the recognition of athletics in South Africa hangs in the balance. That was your responsibility that you then reneged on. And those of us here who know that CIPC will hound you, telling you that you are about to be deregistered. 90 days left, 60 days left, 30 days left, 2 weeks left, 7 days left, 3 days left, 1 day left, deregistered. It doesn't come out of the blue. So when you look at that, you must acknowledge what it means to the athletes in this country. Because when you lose your registration with CIPC, then you are losing your ability to get broadcast rights. That's 11.9 million gone. Then you are losing your ability to get sponsorships, 5.7 million gone. Then you are losing your ability to get a lotto grant, 2.2 million gone. And all you could do perhaps is get membership, 7.2 million rand in, out of 38 million rand that you would have otherwise gotten. So I want to know, because many times when I clarify things like this for the public asks me, who is responsible for this? Is it the board? Or is there a particular individual who missed this and reneged on their duty for this? I want the name and the surname and the position of the individual who was declared responsible for the CIPC-related matters of this particular federation. Because it's very important that we know this. I want the name and the surname, and then I will proceed.
As a CEO, maybe I'll take that responsibility to say that I have to look at the overall compliance of the organization, but the whole responsibility was ceded as well to the auditors to assist us.
So it was ceded to the auditors. Who conducted oversight over the auditors?
Yes.
You.
No, the auditors themselves.
No, who conducted oversight over that? Who ceded that particular responsibility?
It was with myself and the CFO, but yeah.
Name and surname, please.
Chief Terence Magagodela.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, and?
And then maybe the...
Lionel Lesafane. So the two of you are jointly responsible for athletics in South Africa losing its CIPC registration. Am I correct in saying that, given that it was your responsibility?
I would say...
Yes or no?
To be accountable, yes. As an organization, we have to see that the compliance is done.
How did you miss it? Was it stuck in your emails? Was it too many notices? How did you miss it?
No, it's never stuck because I think when we're busy doing all these tax issues that came in, and then I remember even as well, then there were times when my board members say, they say this problem here. But when I went to investigate around some way back in March, because all these things is ceded to the auditors, then I thought on myself that how can this happen? Let me go and investigate.
Okay, what is the name of the auditors?
Tundra.
Excuse me?
Tundra.
Tundra
Yes.
auditors, where are they based?
they're based in Johannesburg, Fourways.
So Johannesburg Fourways-based Tundra auditors are the individuals responsible as well for ensuring that the CIPC registration is seeded.
I can say so because they want to assist us a lot of time.
Thank you very much. I'd like you to also know that as per the Constitution, what you reveal inside of Parliament is, of course, on our side, protected in a sitting. So it becomes fact, but it is also protected in a sitting. So thank you for giving us that, and I just want to
Honorable Liam,
close then,
Honorable Liam,
Chairperson.
before you close, hold your horses just for a while. How many notices do you receive, or did you receive, for this compliance?
When I check,
you make sure in the answer because it's quite a number of notices.
when I check in the enterprise, detailed enterprise of the organization, I think there were 3 or 4 notices that were received.
Thank you, Honorable Liam. Proceed.
So with that in mind, I think it then makes it a matter of consequence management. And we require either a commitment here, or it is going to require us as portfolio committee members to decide on what that consequence is for this. Because there ought to be consequences for this. I think that is firm. The athletes in this country would want that. The parents of the athletes in this country would want that. The coaches of athletes in this country would want that, because this is their sport. And the sport then belongs to our community. So that's very important. And then lastly, your coaching course. This is just a question I received from the YouTube chat. You said that the coaching courses are free. Is that true? They are not free. They are not free. You pay for them. Okay. In your report, it was mentioned that they are covered at times. People on YouTube are saying that they have to pay for your coaching courses. That being said, Chairperson, as I close, I want us to be firm in our stance regarding that there must be consequences for this, and I want to echo Honourable Khabo's suggestion that we need to reconvene with Athletics South Africa to dig deeper into this issue of the CEO, should there not be consequences. Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chairperson, thank you very much. Look, the matter is as follows. I don't think that this is something that we can take lightly. When you hear all of these things, you hear numbers and you hear finances that sound very willy-nilly, like they were sucked out of thumbs. And that's what I want to clarify now. What I want to clarify is that I'm not going to be asking you questions nicely. I'm going to be asking you questions and I want responses immediately. So please be ready to respond. And I don't want political answers. I don't want answers where you are explaining and giving examples. I want yes, no, I want factuals, I want full stops. That's what I want. So I'm going to start with Netball World Cup. I want to know, did board members get funding from the Netball World Cup?
No.
You didn't. Okay. So I want them to know, if they are seeing it with us now, it implies that there might have been a deadline and you missed your deadline. So did you miss a deadline? Was there a deadline given to you for audited financials? What happened?
Yes, we did miss the deadline, sir.
When was the deadline?
It was supposed to be last year, March 20.
Last year, March. Who's responsible for missing the deadline?
It's us as a board.
Who's in the board?
The 4 of us that are here.
Who's the 4 of us that are here?
Okay, it's myself as a chair.
Name, surname?
Patience Shikwambana.
Okay, next.
Blanche de la Guerre.
Excuse me?
Blanche de la Guerre.
Thank you.
Sumaya Khan.
Uh-huh. 4th?
Lyndon Bauer.
Thank you very much. So you're the 4 that missed the deadline. Why did you miss the deadline?
I indicated earlier that we had challenges with our staff.
You had challenges with your staff?
Yes.
So you acknowledge responsibility for the fact that you missed the deadline?
Yes, we do.
Thank you very much. Then I want to know, how much did it cost you to measure your carbon footprint? I understand you don't have audited financials and you boasted about having a lower carbon footprint, but what we don't talk about is reporting. Reporting often costs a lot of money. How much did it cost you to measure your carbon footprint?
480,000.
480,000. Okay. Then I want to know your fan parks and the attendance. I want to know, how much did your fan parks and your viewing sites cost, and what was the attendance? Across the country.
Each province hosted their own fan parks. So the city of Cape Town hosted their one. Western Cape government hosted fan parks across the districts, and each province, wherever they found themselves, so they carried those costs of the fan parks.
So you don't know the cost of the fan parks?
No, because we were not responsible for the provinces carried those costs. I'm responsible for the Western Cape one, but we were not responsible as a board for the whole country.
So the board has no idea how much the fan parks cost? Because if you are saying it comes from then provinces and districts, you are then saying that this goes to municipal levels, you are saying that it goes to district levels and provincial levels, and you are saying that you don't know how much of taxpayer money or whatever went to these fan parks.
No, we wouldn't know, as I'm saying, because it was a partnership with the provinces.
So you don't know?
No.
Okay, thank you for accepting that you don't know. Then I want to move to Netball South Africa. Now, you heard me talking about money, and I'm very clear on what I want to know. I want to touch on a lot of things here, and the first thing I want to touch on is that your financials reflect 41,041 Rand across 2 years for NSA condolences. What is that? Is there anyone to respond to me on finances here? I expect the CEO to be able to respond on finances.
Honourable Member, I have to check the document that you're talking about.
You can't check a document. You can't come to a portfolio committee that represents the people of South Africa and say you must check a document. You are a CEO and you are supposed to know what is inside of your document. So please explain to me and the 250 South Africans watching now and the hundreds of thousands that are going to watch, what is NSA condolences? You spent 41,000, you ought to know.
The only thing I can remember at the top of my mind is the players that, well, netball players that died. That's what I remember at the top of my mind.
You spent 41,000. What did you use it for?
Honourable Member, with due respect, can I get back to get the details? Because this is not for this financial year.
No, you are correct. It's not for this financial year. It's for the 2024-2023 financial year. At the financial years that ended in 2023 and 2024.
Exactly, Honourable Member. I was employed in October 2023 and I wanted to be given an opportunity to go and check, and I will report back.
So you didn't do your homework before the portfolio committee? You present us a report, you don't do your homework on the report. What must can happen? Yes?
I did my homework.
Now you don't know what the 41,041 Rand was for.
Can I humbly request that I go and check those details, Honourable Jacobs?
You cannot humbly request that you go and check details. It doesn't matter how you change the wording of your request. I want the answer now.
I don't have the answer now.
So you don't have the answer?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Then I want to move to correctional services. 53,091 Rand was spent to a line item called correctional services. What was that for?
And
what is your name, CEO? I want the South Africans to just hear your name and surname.
My name is Mudiege Komani.
Yaleboa.
My name is Mami Diale. The money for correctional service, what happens is, as and when Department of Correctional Services has a championship, they request support from Netball South Africa. And with that support, Netball South Africa will invoice them in terms of selectors, in terms of umpires and all that.
Thank you very much.
So they will pay that money.
That's fine. Then I want to know, you paid 119,217 Rand for a social media influencer. Why and who was it? And what was the results of it?
That was part of the 2023 Netball World Cup, and
Nope, it was 2024. It ended in that financial year.
Say that again.
The statement ends for the 31st of March 2024. So who was the social media influencer? What did they do? How much did they cost? And what was the person? What was the outcomes?
That's when the CFO is absent, Honourable Jacobs.
But we need a response, Chairperson. We need a response. There's people here that ought to account to us now, and I want the accounting now.
That's when a CFO is absent. This is what happening.
Then you sit here with silence. And I think that the nation deserves to hear the silence also, because I can feel in the room there's a tension that you can't cut with a butter knife, you can't cut with a meat cleaver. Leave the tension and give us the answers. That is what we want. So please tell me, who was the person? What was it used for? There's got to be someone here that knows that.
I don't have the details, Honorable Jacobs.
You don't got the answers. You don't have the
I don't
answers.
have the details.
You don't have those answers
I
for
don't
me.
have the details.
So you don't know where the money went.
I'm saying the details of the particular influencer.
The details of the particular influencer.
Yes, Honorable
And you don't have the results of your spending on that particular
We
influencer.
do have the social media report of the spending, Honorable Jacobs.
Thank you very much. Then I want to know, you spent 47,000 rand, 47,568 rand on consulting fees. What was that for? It's just there, a line item, consulting fees. Now the homework is being done, Chairperson. This is what happens when you study inside of the lecture. Proceed. Nagana.
Now we understand the challenges that NSA have.
That's why there's a problem. And I'm going to finish it with my last point. Proceed. I want an answer.
Honorable members, Honorable Chair, I don't think this is fair because...
Why is it not fair?
This is very detailed and it requires, had we received, we would have attached evidence of these things. Like I indicate, I'm not giving an excuse. I came in October and these financials were already audited.
Chairperson, no.
So I need to have to go and consult to check this information.
Chairperson, the reason I'm saying that is because you can't come here, account, and then have nothing to account with. It is almost as if I must call you back for another meeting so you bring your details so that you can flesh them out. We are fleshing them out now. That is when the fleshing out is happening. So can't you tell me what you spent 47,000 rand on for consulting fees? You can't tell me. Yes or no?
No.
You don't know. As a CEO, you don't know. Okay. Then, on the Spar Proteas, in 2023, you spent 1,440,000 rand. In 2024, you spent 622,757 rand. I think we know what I'm going to ask. What was the consulting fees for? It's over 2 million rand in consulting fees. What were the consulting fees for? 2 million. There's netball players and coaches that are watching this now, wondering what happened to that 2 million. Couldn't my players get balls? Couldn't my players get kits? Couldn't my players get tackies? Couldn't my players get a court? But there's 2 million on consulting fees. What was the consulting fees for? Chairperson, I'm convinced that I was speaking English.
Yeah, Honorable Jacobs, I'm going to skip you. We have to reschedule a follow-up discussions.
So can I confirm, Chairperson, that she does not have the answers as we speak? That the CEO and members of the executive do not have the answers as we speak?
There's no responses. There's no responses.
There's no responses. They don't have the answers. They can't account.
So we have to get this on a later stage, and perhaps, Honorable Liam Jacobs, may I request that you put that down on paper and that we get a response in due course.
Can I close, Chair? I'm not going to ask a question. I'm going to close.
Please proceed.
Ek is hartseer. Wat jy sê? Kalwala, wat jy sê? Look, the question surrounding the president is very interesting, the president of Netball South Africa. Because it sounds like this, and I'm going to say it for the people that are watching. It sounds like this. It says, okay, listen, I'm suspended. But at the same time, I'm not actually suspended because I don't think that I'm actually suspended. But if I do something, World Netball is going to sanction my organization, and therefore I have to make it look like I'm suspended, but I'm not suspended. So I'm not going to come to the committee because I'm suspended, but I'm still going to be the president. I'm still going to have that power because I'm not actually sanctioned or actually under any charges. I'm not actually under anything. That is what you are saying to us here. When that letter came to us, it was saying, yes, I'm suspended, but I'm not actually suspended because I reject anything that says that I'm suspended. That's what you are telling us. And if you can tell us that, what more are you saying to the players who play netball in our universities and in our schools? Men and women who play netball. What more are you saying to the coaches who are trying to make the netball stars of tomorrow? What more are you saying to the schools who are putting the resources in place and hard hours in the sun to make netball successful in South Africa if you have a president that is running roughshod over netball like this? Chairperson, my case isn't even tired. My case wants to go to a coffin because this is a funeral now, Chairperson. I rest my coffin. Thank you.
Thank you.